Family's names in the building and stuff, that's pretty good.
All right. Morning. Or is it afternoon? Maybe afternoon. Well, we're have an opportunity this week to work on things that'll help us. Obviously, we don't know who we're going to play, so once that clears up, we'll turn our attention to that team. But right now, hopefully, we can find some things that we can improve on that'll help us the next time we do get a chance to play. So that's pretty much where we are today.
Last two games, Danny Shelton was active. What has he brought you guys, just run defense-wise, in the last two games?
Danny's, his roles, he's a big inside player. So, look, there's a lot of guys we could have played in the last couple of weeks that were inactive that we just couldn't activate. So it was him a couple of weeks, and it's been other players. In the end, we just have to pick the ones that we feel like are, be the most important for that particular game. Change week to week.
Last two games, do you see a noticeable uptick, improvement?
Yeah, well, again, defense is about team defense, so there's no one guy that can stop the running game. There's no one guy that can stop the passing game, not in this league. So, if we collectively play well as a team, we have a chance, and coach well and have a good scheme. If we don't, then we're going to give up yards no matter what they do. So we have to coach and play well collectively as a team. It's good to have all the players that we have, but it's about team defense, really.
Over the years, you guys have had a lot of extra practices, obviously, because of the playoffs. How have you seen that have a long-term effect on the team, getting extra practice opportunities?
In terms of what?
Just, well, you guys have had a lot of deep runs in the playoffs. Maybe teams that don't have those runs don't have many practices.
Yeah, I don't know. Hopefully we won't have a team to compare that to anytime soon. So, I don't know. Just take each day we have, every opportunity we have, try to get the most out of it, and that's all we try to do. So whatever it is, whatever those opportunities are, they are. We'll do the best we can with them.
I know Derek Rivers is somebody who, after missing his first year, basically had a lot of room for improvement, I'm sure. But I'm wondering, when it comes to his abilities in the running game, how much you've seen him improve in that regard versus maybe how he came to you guys.
Derek's improved in every area, so he works very hard. Has improved in physically, technique-wise, obviously understanding and execution of the defense. So he's gotten better in every area. Works really hard. So he's improved in that, but he's improved in everything too.
One of the biggest things for him, just strength adding as far as that goes for him physically, to be able to hold up against players that are obviously different caliber from what he saw at college. Yeah.
Again, look, more strength, more speed, more quickness. All those things are better. Technique and leverage are probably more important than those things. So if all else was equal, it would probably go to a strength advantage, but good technique and good leverage can offset a strength differential. So they're all related.
We've discussed this before, but 8 coaching changes this off the year. Are you, given the amount of time you've been in the league, does it surprise you just at the lack of stability sometimes, at how short of a chance coaches can be given? We all know that Tom Landry, 8 years before he had a winning season. Just does that amaze you over the time you've been in the league, that sort of change?
Yeah, I'm really right now just focused on trying to get our team ready for the next game and try to prepare us for a week from Sunday. So whatever else is happening. not really much I could do about it. It doesn't really affect me, so. Should talk to those teams and see why they're doing what they're doing. I don't really know.
It seems that James White embodies a lot of values that any coach would want in a player. When you first looked at him at Wisconsin, what characteristics did you see that you thought made him a very good fit in your system? And is there any particular trait he's shown you here over 5 years that you didn't know he had in his game when you first drafted him?
Well, I think he's improved in the passing game here. He did some of that at Wisconsin. And, he was used some as a slot receiver, but he ran the ball more than he caught it there. Here, I mean, I don't know what the numbers are, but he's caught the ball a lot for us. He's been, a key player in the passing game, although he's certainly had contributions in the running game too. But I'd say he's done more in the passing game than what he had shown there. Not saying he didn't do it there, but it was, it's just, I would say, expanded here. But yeah, he does everything well. I mean, he's a great kid. He's smart. He works hard. Very tough, dependable. His ball security, his decision making, situational football. I mean, he's one of those guys that almost always does the right thing. Sometimes things come up that aren't exactly the way they were practiced, or doesn't exactly follow the rule that you've outlined, but he has to make a decision quickly, and whatever the circumstances, the situation is, and I mean, he almost always makes the right one. And some of that's just instinctive and good judgment, on his part. That's, let's say, beyond, coaching. He knows how to play football. And we have a lot of guys like that, but I'd certainly put him in that category.
I know you have a high level of appreciation for your assistant coaches, but given the turnover in the wide receiver room this year, maybe there's a little added level of respect, admiration for what Chad O'Shea's been to do.
Yeah, well, it's been that way for a long time. Chad's done a great job for us. I'm very fortunate to have the coaching staff that I have. Those guys all do an excellent job. They work hard. They prepare extremely well. They are demanding of their players, get their players to perform well. At the same time, have a good team chemistry and appreciation for what everybody else is doing outside of just their individual area, which is obviously important to them. But there's a bigger picture that they have to work within for the overall benefit of the team. I mean, they all do a great job of that. They work well in their units. They work well with coaches on the other side of the ball, or the players, people that they interact with. So, but yeah, Chad. But I mean, they've all done, done a real good job, as they've continued to do for me since the last 19 years.
Is Brian Flores done this year with the increased responsibilities that he's been doing?
Yeah, did the same thing. Yeah.
Is that a tough balance sometimes when you go from sort of being a position coach to the defensive signal callers? I mean, I can't speak to the workload, but how much more is on a plate for someone like that, and his role is sort of elevated in a sense?
I mean, it's different. I experienced that, so I could speak to it. You're probably putting in the same amount of time. I mean, there's not more hours in the day. You just have to allocate it differently and look at your responsibilities and do some of the things that you did in a different role. Somebody else does those, and you take on somebody else's. In this case, some of the things that Matt did for us. So, but that's pretty common and straightforward in this business. So, but yeah, it's different.
Chad O'Shea, I know from the Vikings. How did you first kind of become aware of him as a coach?
Well, I worked with Chad's dad, and first year I was in the league, so kind of always through Mike knew Chad. Chad was in Minnesota with some other connections there, so yeah, Mike and I go way back. I mean, 44 years or whatever it is, 43. I lost track here, but
What did Mike do?
Mike was a trainer at Baltimore. Yeah.
Bill, having seen the Texans so many times in recent years, is there a little more emphasis on scouting Baltimore and the Chargers this week?
Yeah, well, again, once we find out who we play, we'll turn all our attention to that team. So, in the meantime, we'll prepare to be ready for whoever it is, and most importantly, try to work on things that'll benefit the New England Patriots, no matter who we play.
Well, you guys obviously went without Devin for a little bit against the Jets, and so I'm just wondering, in a situation like that, he doesn't miss many snaps. So in a situation like that, is it as easy as one player kind of taking on the communication responsibilities that Devin would typically have, or is it kind of a joint approach by several guys?
Yeah, it would depend on the situation. But when you're in that particular game, we were ahead. It was more of a passing game when that occurred. So there were some multiples that came up. But, I think Steve and Josh and B-Flow, all, it was pretty smoothly handled. And again, we have a pretty experienced group back there with guys who have played multiple spots at one time or another during the year. And because I would say the different things that we do in the secondary, sometimes you're doing another guy's job, you're just switching spots to give the offense a different look type of thing. So I thought it was handled pretty smoothly. But, anytime you have a player that plays almost every snap and then he's not in there, it's different. Just is. So obviously you never want to see that, but you have to prepare for it.
Final question?
Bill, just on a different note, Urban Meyer probably coached his last game last night. I don't know if you have any relationship with him, and can you speak to the respect that you have as fellow coaches?
Yeah, go back a long way with Urban. Talked to him multiple times every season. Yeah, great respect and appreciation for what he's done, the national championships, the programs that he's built. Look back, he's an Ohio guy when I was in Ohio, and back to Bowling Green, and obviously Notre Dame, and then Utah, Florida, Ohio State. So great man. He's had tremendous success. He's been a good friend, and great admiration for what he's done.
Coach?
Okay. Yep. Thank you.